Hey guys, Luna here, and we're back with Hiveswap Friendsim. Now, last time we've done this type of thing, it was definitely a very quirky game, as quirky. We finished the Volume 1 of Bloodthirst and Brothsworth. In this episode, I'm planning to go through at least the first half of Volume 2 of Anesthetics, Crimson, and Otherwise. So, presumably, if everyone on the left side is the first choice, everyone on the right is the second choice, we're going to be going through of Anesthetic, the blue blood, what it looks like. So, let's get into it, shall we? You stumble through the streets of a strange alien world. Ever since you crash-landed on this hostile planet, you have been desperate. Desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly for a bit of medical attention. Along the way, you had some last embarrassing missteps, and maybe even encountered an alien with meat products. You don't really want to get into it. What you do want to get into is friendship. An entire planet of endless friend opportunities awaits you. Honestly, at this point, you've made friends with one of those weird purple bushes. You're not too picky. Wait, you see something in the distance, or perhaps someone. Let's do Amisia Erdehn. Blue blood. What light breaks through what light through yonder weirdly organic architecture breaks? That was a weird sentence. A small figure approaches. Oh my gosh, you are so far you've swallowed quite a few insults in regards to your looks and intelligence levels. You aren't really the type to let shallow opinions of others get you down, but it's been kind of a rough day. Embrace yourself. Cute! Oh, wow! She gives you a sweet, sincere smile. I've never seen anything like you. What's new ideas? Boy, do you hope some sort of those ideas are about friendship. Now that you got a taste of it, you're hungry for more. You take a stumbling step forward and your ribs remind you that although the potential of camaraderie is enough to improve your mental health, it can't cure acute injuries. Oh, you don't look so good. Come inside. Been looking for new contributors. Contributors? Did you mean friendship contributors? No, it's dumb. Maybe she wants some sort of alien newspaper and she wants you on set. She looks like a little young for that, but what the heck do you know about alien management hierarchy? You follow her to a nearby building, and now you're looking up from your ravenous hunt for companionship, you notice that you've wandered into a kind of upscale part of town. There's a lot less garbage and people collapse in the streets. You see one of those spiky robot things, but it's washing a window instead of shooting a laser at a group of children. If that's not high class, you don't know what is. Before you can follow her inside, she turns around on the threshold, blocking the way. Nick, you don't happen to be an artist, do you? Artistry, as a matter of fact. Tell her, yeah, it isn't exactly a whole deal, but you've been known to dabble. Tell her, no, you never had much of an effort. Both of these are false, because I love artistry, and it's been my whole deal, so this one would be the correct answer, but I'm going to go the wrong one, because that's funnier. Oh, good. Friendship between artists can be so fraught. Much better just to keep things between artists and art appreciators. That way no one can get jealous. Girl's smile widens even further and you feel an unbelievable rush of joy. Have you finally found someone who isn't a total fucking maniac? She brought up friendship without having you to mention it at all. It puts a spring in your step, or as much of a spring as possible with a broken arm and a misaligned torso. Amnesia leads you into an elevator with buttons labeled in spiky letters that make absolutely no sense to you. Realize that probably nothing is ever going to make sense to you again. That's okay, your hierarchy of needs has adjusted recently. Your new friend, you're jumping the gun with this descriptor, but you're feeling seriously good about this encounter, stands in the corner of this elevator, wriggling her claws. I wish I'd known I was going to have company. I would have cleaned up a little. It's been a while since I met anyone new. You assure her that whatever disaster her house is, it can't be any worse than some other places you've seen here. Although you kind of get what she means. She's wearing an artist's smock that's covered in splashes of paint. Actually, it doesn't really look like paint, but couldn't be anything else, could it? Be blood. It's every color of the rainbow. The elevator door slides open and you step into a space that you are relieved to find is totally recognizable. Table overflowing with messy palettes and brushes, cloudy jars of water and sponges. Several Izo stand beside the window to catch the light of 2 moons, and the number of canvases lean against the wall turn so you can't. Izio brings you over to a wall screen that looks way more high-tech than anything you have now defunct spaceship, tapping away at a series of unreadable symbols. She then indicates you should take off your sling. Here, go ahead and stick it in here. She seems to want you to put your injured arm into a large hole in the wall, which you do because you're sure your new friend has your best interest at heart. The hole shrinks down like a blood pressure cuff, sending bolts of agony through you. You want to yank your arm back out, but you don't. Even if it's broken, you still like having it attached to you. Instead, you shout a lot and thrash your other limbs about. Calm down, you big wriggler. It's like you've never seen a medicalizer before. If you don't stop moving, it won't work. Tears spill down your cheeks, but you force yourself still. You bear the pain. You'll do it for your friend. She's looking at you hopefully, and she looks delicate and pretty. Looks angelic. You look at her face and tell yourself it's all going to be okay. Finally, the hole releases you and you pull your arm back out to find completely healed. You can move your fingers. It doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, things are looking up. See? I told you. This is great. Overwhelmed with an urge to celebrate. I guess I will save again. I'm going to get excited and dance around the room. You try to resist the urge to celebrate. You fail to resist the urge. You take Amisia by her tiny hands and twirl her about the studio. Or you try to. You forget about your bust ribs. You sure are doing that a lot. You let go of Amisia and go carrying it into one of the tables. Thankfully, not the one covered in art supplies. You hit the corner and go down on your already incredibly sore butt. This is what you get for acting like a huge tool in front of your new friend. You okay? Was that some sort of ritualistic rite of healing I've never heard before? Shock against the floor. Amisia leans down and picks you up in bridal carry, despite the fact that she's about half your size. It makes your ribs hurt, but it doesn't nowadays. Amisia lays you down on a weirdly lumpy couch. Are you sure you're okay? You look a little... She trails off to nothing, She's looking at your left arm, which is draped over yourself awkwardly to try and hold your torso together. A color. At first you think she means the color of your skin, which means it's different than her light gray. Then you think she means a truly fantastic buffet of bruises you got on your... But then you realize that in your prancing idiocy you managed to scrape up the inside of your arm. Blood oozes sluggishly from the wounds. Amisia treasures a finger through it. You're half expecting it to put in your mouth, and for this to become a whole cannibal situation. Well, since you aren't the same species and would really be cannibalism, but still, no thanks. Instead, Amisia just holds a finger up the drop of blood trembling on the tip. This color, I've never seen anything like it. She dashes off to one of her tables, pulling over a sketchbook and dragging her finger down. Your blood paints a rusty line down the center. She lets out a little squeak of excitement. This is amazing! What, red? Not red. There's a million dirty little rusties swarming all over the city. I'm drowning in red. This is crimson. It's incredible. It must be some sort of mutant. You're really lucky I found you instead of one of the drones. Lucky? You, Yes, very lucky. The luckiest. Now your arm is healed and you're out of whatever doubtless weird weather happens on this planet. Maybe Amnesia's right. Maybe you are lucky. You close your eyes and try and breathe. Zen yourself out. Really center yourself in your own body and all that garbage. Then you open your eyes and wow, you sure aren't centered anymore. In fact, you roll completely to the left as you try and get away from Amnesia, who's back and standing over you with a gigantic axe. Watch out! Amnesia grabs you and drags you back onto the couch and plants her hand on your solar plexus. I'm imagining either my chest or my head, effectively pinning you down. You'll hurt yourself if you keep flopping around like that, like a bleached blubber face. You want to be friends, don't you? You want me to help you with my artistic aspirations, right? You get the feeling that she's just trying to manipulate you. Just the teeniest little suspicion. It's possible Amnesia has recognized your intense craving for companionship as trying to exploit it. You don't like being suspicious of your new friend, but that's a pretty big axe. I don't want you. I don't know what's got you so worried. I just want to show you my axe. Of course, makes sense. It really is a nice axe. You hold out your hand for it, but of course it's too heavy for you, and your hands are all sweaty, and you fumble over it. Fumble, the really sharp weapon. Amnesia tries to catch it before it's too late, and somehow, all the wiggly struggle, you end up getting cut, like bear cut across both of your. Oh, not across. I'm gonna die. In fact, you don't think she could have aimed even better if she'd been trying. Now the blood's creeping in. Oh dear. Hard to agree. Don't struggle. You'll only hurt yourself more, silly. You don't want that, do you? No, definitely don't want that. Not after what butterfingers you've proven to be. Amnesia gets up to put the axe down and kind of lose track of her for a little while. You're bleeding all over a couch and everything around you starts going shiny and unreal. She comes back with a couple little jars that she uses to catch your blood. It's a great idea. You sure are making a mess. You wonder if these are specifically blood jars. They look like jam jars. Alien Jam. Space Jam. God, you love that movie. It's been so long since you last seen it. Definitely the best PG movie about basketball. Way better than the one with the dog and the clown. Do they even have basketball here? You ask Amnesia. She just shushes you and brushes your hair back. You keep smiling and says comforting things. God, you're such good friends. Before long, you do what it's honestly a good shock. When you come to, you are propped up against the wall in a weird way that you wouldn't love even if you weren't an invalid. And both of your arms are jammed to the holes in the wall. The med hole, the glory hole of well-being. The magic vindicator. You grunt and pull your arms back out. They're healed. The cuts in your wrists are just faded pink lines. Take a step away from the wall and immediately hit the ground. You may not be actively dying anymore, but you did just lose like half the blood in your body. So tired. Little giggle makes you turn around or roll over since you're still on the floor and you're probably not going to get up anytime soon. It's fine. You met worse floors in your life. Amnesia sitting on one of her easels, her hair pulled back beneath a scarf, and a little round glasses perched on her nose. A jar of your blood sits next to her as you watch her as she drips a brush in. I'm glad you're awake. I was actually a little worried that I actually killed you back there. She laughs and you laugh with her. It's very funny. Actually, everything's funny right now. It's probably the blood loss. You ask her what she's painting. You, of course. You inspired me. Well, right now it just looks like a bunch of red squiggles and some lines, but she only just got started. She's warming up. She sits there on the stool looking at her palette, chewing lips thoughtfully. She looks somewhat nervous. Actually, I want to show you something. Something I've never shown anyone else. She leaps up from her stool and crosses the studio. You roll to your other side to keep her in line of sight. Really hope she isn't getting another space jam jar. She starts turning around canvases one by one. They're all blank except for one, which has a little. Wait, no, that's just a shadow. Every single one of them is blank. I'm not sure you understand. You ask her if these are all just new canvases that she has not gotten the chance to paint yet. Amnesia sighs. No, I had them forever. I just Not a real painter. There, I said it. She buries her face in her hands, talking between her fingers. I'm really good at all of the other parts, the materials and the studio. I even make all my own paints. I just can never do the actual sitting down and doing art part. She just looks so despondent. You wish you could do something, but you really don't know that much about art, and you probably can't stand up yet. You tell her that she looks like she's moving in the right direction at least. You don't even have a studio or any brushes or any stuff like that. Of course, you have no aspirations of being a painter. Not true. I love being painting stuff. But you leave that part out. That's just it. I feel inspired for the first time ever. I think it has to be your messed up, disgusting mutant blood. That's really no other explanation. She takes a knee beside you, picking up one of your limp hands with hers. They're cold like she's been pressing them to a glass window in winter. Usually I just finish off my contributors quickly. I don't have time to deal with a bunch of injured lowbloods moaning around my studio. But I couldn't just use your blood up all at once. You're too special for that. Blaze at Amisia. A mist has ascended over your vision, and it isn't even a mist of imminent death. I have to keep this precious blood safe. I think you might be my muse. You'll never escape. Crazy artist, sure. Crazy, let's go. I suppose crazy artist is fine. So basically, so you healed up, and we were going to decide between celebrating. Chill about it. I'm gonna be chill about it. You thank Amisia profusely, but you manage to keep it to a strict verbal sort. Medicalizers are great. This part of the city is great. You really need to get more rich friends. You tell her this, throwing in a compliment of her studio while you're at it. See, this friendship stuff is easy. Glad you feel that way. You're obviously really strange and under-socialized, but you really don't seem to be the complete cultural idiot. Plus, I really think endearing how helpless and trusting you are. You laugh, slightly unnerved. You want to take that as a compliment, but after a recent encounter with another girl in blue, well, it's all ended up okay. And Amnesia is so nice and friendly, and she keeps calling you cute, which you think is pretty generous of her, considering what a disgusting mess you are at this point. Speaking of lowbloods, what's your blood color? Just out of curiosity. Blood color? You aren't really sure what she's talking about, but red? You tell her it's red. She looks a little disappointed. Got plenty of burgundy. Oh well, good thing I have a delivery coming soon. Hey, do you think you can help me set a few things up before they get here? Hey, visitors? As in plural? As in multiple potential friends? Oh, heck yes! You're all over that, especially considering your newly healed arm. You are anxiously to display all of the simple motor functions you can perform. Amnesia gives you another radiant smile. You live for those smiles, man. They're just so full of the glowing nectar of bromance. Perfect. Let's do this. Work always goes faster with two pairs of hands, after all. Yes, absolutely it does. And even if by that she seems to mean her hands are pointing while she tells you where to put things, you're totally fine with that. Rooms are still kind of killing you, but you swallow down the pain and you're getting pretty good at that. Too bad you can't stick your whole torso in that magical science fiction hole in the wall. Well, maybe you could, but not right now. Right now, you got a friend to help. Amnesia instructs you to clear all the furniture to the edges of the room and lay down a big purple tarp. Apparently tarps aren't blue on this planet. Well, there's many different colors. Amnesia enters her phone, then buzzes open the apartment door. She runs over to the elevator with a squeal of delight. We're here! Yay! Sorry, I'm getting so giddy about it. It's just been a while since I've had any new paints. Wait, paints? That's what's going? Now that you think about it, there's something pretty crucial missing for this whole artist aesthetic she's got going on here. There aren't many paints. No tubes dribbling colors on, or pots with their tops left partially unscrewed. Aren't even any pencils. The elevator opens and two trolls come in. They have pretty similar shaped horns, and they almost have the exact same height. Yes, do trolls have brothers? From their uniforms and their dashing, swaggering way they walk, you get the idea that they are some sort of law enforcement. That and the third troll in handcuffs they are dragging between them. Thank you guys! You always bring me the best materials. They don't say anything, they just bring the third troll to center on the tarp and force him into a kneeling position. Then they bow to Amisia and leave the way that they came. This doesn't look great. Even before Amisia runs out of the room and comes back with an axe the size of her whole body. You're not loving this. The troll on the tarp resembles and bites back a sob, but they don't say anything or try and run. She isn't going to do what it looks like, is she? You can't bring yourself to believe that this cute little alien girl is going to straight up axe murder a dude right in front of you, presumably to finger paint with their blood. You stammer something to this effect. Amisia laughs. Well, I don't use my fingers. I'm not a fucking animal. She considers you a few moments, tapping a claw against her mouth. I know, you can help me. I only ever let one other person help with my work, and she's out of town right now. But you and I have a connection. You feel it too, right? You do, God, you do. You've been feeling it so much lately for everyone you meet. You thought you had maybe come across someone who would readily accept your platonic longings without putting you through the ring at first. You do want to help me, don't you? You do. You want that more than anything. Amisia looks at you solemnly. Why don't you do the honors? She holds out her axe. I wouldn't offer this just to anyone. But I can tell how special you are. You're trembling. The trolls on the tarp is also trembling, but unlike you, they seem to have accepted their fate. Slowly, inevitably, you hold out your hand for the axe. Amisia gives it to you with a smile. God damn it, you forgot about your broken ribs. That you're human and just can't pick up a gigantic fucking axe with one hand. You drop it and it bounces away from you, like way more than you think an axe should probably bounce. You look at Amisia from where you are, doubled over with pain and shame. She laughs and scampers over to retrieve the axe, once again swinging it up without any sign of strain. She doesn't even have any visible muscles. What is this girl made out of? Silly of me. It seems you're so culturally advanced that for a second I thought I forgot about your natural inferiority. Here, I'll give you a second chance. You nod. Yes, please. Second chance that does not include committing gruesome murder. Usually I just use change, but I got a better idea. Oh God. You get what she wants you to do. You hesitate and Amnesia's smile gets even sweeter. Sweet like poison. Oh? You don't want to help me? Tarp crinkles underneath you as you kneel. You grasp Toad's shoulders and mumble an apology. They continue to say nothing. Amisia is sharpening her axe, which already looks pretty damn sharp. Oh, not tight. You try. You really do. The problem is you try to hold on tight, but at the same time you try and drag the troll out of the way. Some buried instinct to try and preserve life rising up inside you. Weak and injured, though, so all you end up doing is just flopping both of you a little to the side. So he's a green blood, it looks like. Some type of green-yellow blood. Instead of coming down on the neck of the clean slice, Amnesia's axe glances off the troll's collarbone, mortally rooting them instead of killing them outright. And now you know why they've not been begging for their life. They don't have a tongue, so they can't beg, but they sure can yell and thrash and bleed olive green alien blood all over you and the tarp. God, there's so much blood. It's hurting everywhere. Jesus Christ. She's disappointed. Now you're covered in dying aliens. So is everything else. Amisia, the work table, and most directly the canvas leaning against the wall. Amisia takes one look at them and lets out a wail of rage. I can't believe this. I let you into my hive, into my life. I was planning to let you into my pusher. I thought you were fine sarcophagus? I don't even know what that. I'm gonna look what. I can bypass some words not knowing, but soft is. You don't even know how to pronounce soft is. And I thought you were sophisticated. It's sophisticated, but it doesn't have the D. I find sophisticated. Yeah, so someone who's been refined. Now I just see you're a Philistine. She gives you a shove toward the elevator. Your ribs are screaming and it is bleeding so. Try babble an explanation. Forget it. I don't want to hear your excuses. Chatro's right. If you want someone killed right, you have to kill them yourselves. You ride the elevator back down, kneeling in a pool of blood and failure. Terrible at murder. I think that's a good thing. Now for the third thing, where she was asking us, "Am I an artist?" So yeah, it isn't exactly a whole deal, but you've been known to dabble. Oh, I see it out is. Well, you aren't going to sneak out in any trade secrets out of me. Goodbye. Blew it. The end of our friend. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hiveswap Friendsim, and have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. May the stars forever guide your path, wherever it might lead you into the future. Bye-bye.